How can creators like us, who are new to building online businesses, who have high value skill sets, how do we scale our monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, to get us the freedom we desire? That is the question, and this newsletter will give you the answers. Be sure to subscribe if these are the types of answers you seek. My name is Boise Gordon, and welcome to episode 25 of Boise Talks Business. Episode 25, How I Managed to Monetize 2 times on social media. A discussion on the fastest way to monetize a social media account. Welcome, everyone. I did miss Friday's post. I do apologize. But sometimes life happens and you can't really do what you want to do. So here we are, back with a nice, lovely episode. I felt like you guys deserved a little bit longer. So this one might be 20 minutes. We'll see how it goes as I record here. So let's dive in. So in the last episode, I discussed something pretty exciting. I am working on a guide that's actually completed. It's a sales secret guide. So all the things, tips and tricks that I learned to grow my first business, and the things I learned to help me monetize this one, along with the things that I'm teaching my current clients on how to do. So definitely stay tuned in for that. It should be releasing, I'm hoping, by Friday. I want to get everything set up and automated so I don't have to do too much legwork to get it to you guys. But stay tuned for that. That should be coming this week. And this episode, I do want to talk about something that we all crave but struggle to accomplish. And that's monetization. Like, everyone struggles with monetization. It's like, I can build authority, I can build followers, I can grow a community, but can you get them to pay what you want them to pay? And that is the hardest thing to do. Most people are pretty safeguarded when it comes to their wallets, and meeting someone online and having them ask you to enter your payment information, it takes a lot of trust, right? So here's some common misconceptions. We need a high follower count. Do not need a high follower count. Our niche has to be lucrative, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I have to do technology, or I have to do AI. Like, do you enjoy those things? That's all that really matters. Lucrative, schmoocrative. It doesn't change the fact that you can monetize in any industry. And then it takes years to accomplish. It does not take years to accomplish. A lot of people who say that are using confirmation bias, even though there's been multiple accounts of people monetizing within only a few days, even a week. Like Justin Welsh talks about all the time, where he'll take a random business idea, use a random account, right, that's anonymous, and still manage to make $1,000 in a week. So it's more a system than a requirement. There's not like a prerequisite as far as accomplishments and experience. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a confident feeling or air to your ability to monetize. I hope I can help. So first, I'll start by talking about my journey to monetization. It started out on Instagram last year. January 1st was the first time I had posted on Instagram for my photography. I picked up nature photography as a hobby, and I wanted to sell my artwork. I wanted to have a side hustle. So I began working on increasing my following and building a community. Month 1, I had 120 followers. Month 2, I had about 300. Month 3, about 500. And then by month 6, I was at 1,000 followers. Right. Every picture was getting a crazy amount of likes and comments. I'll actually link my Instagram so you guys can check it out if you like in the newsletter. And for those who aren't a part of the newsletter, just check out Boise Vision on Instagram. You can see it there, but it's pretty dead now. I don't even use it, but the results are there. Like, it still has the likes and comments and stuff. So I was getting like 400 likes, 100 comments per photo. Like, it was pretty sick, right? And it was at that 6-month mark that I felt like it was a perfect time to monetize. I had the momentum behind me. I had people who supported me. I had the virality of my pictures. And so I started a campaign where I posted my artwork for sale. I create these short little reel videos to highlight some of the pieces that were going to be in my portfolio. And I ended the year with 1,600 followers, so I grew 600 followers, 400 fans, so about 25% of my followers were like recurring repeat fans. We had a relationship and a rapport, and $0 earned. Didn't earn a single penny, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, what just happened? Like, I almost had 2,000 followers after a year, many of which were fans. Why weren't they buying my work? I was so frustrated. And it was from that frustration, that I felt like it was time to move on. So my business consultancy. I started my business consulting services in November of 2023, and I've changed my niche and my business model well over 4 times, probably about 6 or 7 by this point. Today, April 15th, actually marks the 152nd day of being in business. I don't have a soundboard, but if I did, it'd be like a bunch of claps and like, ooh, yeah, like celebration, right? But 80% of that time, 80% of that 152 days was spent in a similar fashion as my Instagram journey. It was spent on followers and community, right? Hours of hard work put in with nothing to show for it. And, I ended up starting that leg of my journey, or the business consultancy, writing on Medium. I wrote over 100 articles, and the pay was cool because Medium pays out on a per view basis. But it was chump change in comparison to minimum wage. Like, I was making like maybe $10, $15 an article. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a super crazy amount of money. Especially I would put in hours to engage every day, an hour or two to write the article. Like, it just didn't math correctly. And I grew to 600 followers before finally making a breakthrough. At the tail end of February 2023, I ended up landing my first client. First ever. And then immediately following that, I hired help. I didn't want to waste any more time. Like, I had proven my ability to do it on my own, so I wasn't like as egotistical, as you may call it, about landing clients in monetization. I had done it before, so it was like, I want help. I want someone that's going to help me do this faster. I wanted to know exactly how I did it and to create a system for it without going through the process of trial and error. So I hired a coach, someone who had done it before, someone who was around 1 or 2 steps ahead of me. And not even 2 weeks into the coaching, I landed my second client. And this client was paying me 10 times more than what I earned on my first client, which is insane. And there was a sad truth that I was forced to acknowledge. Truth being that I could have had this type of result from day one. Right? When I monetized the second time, it was on a brand new platform, or at least new to me. I had, 155 followers. I had less than a quarter of the following count I did on Medium. Medium had like 700 to 600 followers. So it changed, right? That's what we're here for. Main things that changed. I created a sales funnel. I created an organized process of communication where I'd have different levels of closeness with my community. Some people were in the front end of the funnel, which is just going to be your social media profile. They're reading your content, liking and engaging. Cool. Some people might be a part of the newsletter, so it's a little more intimate. It's a one-on-one setting. People can respond to the newsletter directly, and it's only coming to you. No one else reads it, right? And then you also have your meetings. So face-to-face interaction, conversation. And I had a different approach for each thing that helped me get that person to that next step if it was something that was, mutually beneficial, right? So my content would lead people to my profile. My profile would lead people to my newsletter. My newsletter would lead people to my meetings. And my meetings, if they went well, they would lead people to clients, or they would convert people to clients, right? This wasn't revolutionary insight. In fact, I had a sales funnel prior to this, and it didn't work. Even my Medium had a sales funnel. So what was really different, right? I targeted the right audience. That was the main thing. I targeted the right audience. This was the turning point of my process. Early on, I was targeting the wrong people with my previous content. I was essentially speaking to a younger version of me, a past version of me, and I was essentially speaking to a broke person, right? And I'm not saying the people who I was attracting were broke, but I was speaking to someone who might have been unwilling to invest in their future, maybe wanting to do it on their own to prove something to themselves, because that was the air of feeling that I put behind my newsletters or my Medium articles. It was like, hey, you can do it on your own. Hey, you don't need help. Hey, you just need to do this. You just need to do that. And me talking to my past self just attracted versions of past me. And so, like, I'm speaking to people trying to get them to sign up or at least have a meeting with me. And their whole time in their head, they're like, I can do this myself. I mean, you're going to help me by giving me a direction to head in. But the minute we leave this call, I'm just going to apply what you told me. And I'm going to try to do it on my own. And that's cool. Like, I like people like that. I like people who are independent, who have the tenacity, right? But if you want to get paid, you're going to need people who want to pay you. That's just how it is. So I would get people in my funnel with my previous content, and they would just never convert to customers. Once I identified my ideal customer, everything else began to fall in line. And all of the lessons that I had been learning since November, the content marketing, the copywriting, the engagement practices, the community building, it all became applicable almost immediately. So make sure you know who you're selling to. Make sure you know that the person you're selling to is actually going to be able to buy or want to buy from you. Or you won't be able to monetize. It'll just be you building a community and you'll have no one to sell to. So don't be like me and wait. Like I said, I monetized the first time. It took me 3-4 months to get to that point. And then from there, I monetized the second time, but it was only after I got a coach, right? So if you'd like to convert your followers into revenue, I have 2 April spots available, 2 out of 4 left. And, if you're a part of the newsletter, just reply to this with scale. If you're interested, we can meet, see if we're a good fit for each other, go from there. And then, if you're not a part of the newsletter, just send an email to waitlist@boisegordon.com. Okay. And P.S., depending on how this week goes, these slots could both be taken. I have some promising opportunities here. So I'll keep everyone posted on availability if these slots do go away. And just to keep you guys updated. But make sure you just have a meeting with me, and then we can see if it's something that'll work for both of us, because I do want to help people. Cool. Well, thank you so much for listening. It actually wasn't that long today. I feel like I was a little more fluent. But the newsletter is fairly long. Longer than normal. Anyway, thanks for chilling. Thanks for listening to me. I hope this helped you guys with monetization. Find your ICP. Find your target audience. And talk to them with your content. And everything else should fall in line. Cool. All right, guys.